Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events from around the world. We're coming to you live from our studio, where we've been following a significant development in international trade. U.S. President Donald Trump has been in South Korea, attending the APEC summit, where he met with leaders from across the Asia-Pacific region. One of the key takeaways from his trip was a new trade deal with South Korea, which includes a 15% tariff rate on certain goods. The agreement has been seen as a significant win for both countries, with South Korea agreeing to invest $350 billion in the U.S. and purchase $100 billion worth of liquefied natural gas. However, some critics have argued that the deal does not go far enough in addressing trade imbalances between the two nations. In addition to his meeting with South Korean President Lee Jae-myung, Trump also met with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on the sidelines of the summit. The two leaders reportedly discussed cooperation on rare earth minerals and other areas of mutual interest. The APEC summit has also provided a platform for other world leaders to discuss key issues such as trade, security, and climate change. With the global economy facing numerous challenges, including rising tensions between major powers, the need for cooperation and diplomacy has never been more pressing. As we continue to follow this story and its implications for global trade and politics, we'll also be keeping an eye on other developments from around the world. From the latest on China's rare earth mineral industry to updates on the ongoing conflict in North Korea, we'll bring you in-depth analysis and expert insights. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into a complex and intriguing story that's been making headlines in Argentina. The country has just held elections, and President Javier Milei has secured a surprise victory, winning by a wide margin of about 41% to 32%. This outcome has left many wondering whether the result reflects genuine support for Milei or if it was influenced by economic factors, particularly the recent U.S. bailout. To understand the context, let's take a step back. Argentina has been facing significant economic challenges, including high inflation and a declining economy. Milei's government has implemented policies aimed at reducing inflation, which has indeed shown some positive results, dropping from over 200% annually to about 30%. However, critics argue that these policies have come at a cost, with a surge in imports affecting local industry and commerce, leading to job losses and business closures. The U.S. bailout, amounting to $20 billion, has been seen as a crucial factor in the election outcome. Some Argentinians view this support as a guarantee of economic stability, while others see it as a form of economic blackmail. Sociologist Juan Gabriel Tocatlian notes that Milei's campaign successfully spread the idea that without his victory, the economy would collapse, creating a sense of panic among voters. It's also important to consider the role of Peronism, a significant political movement in Argentina. Some voters may have been motivated by anti-Peronism sentiment, while others may have seen the U.S. support as a way to avoid a catastrophic economic crisis. As Aquiles Ferrario, an 82-year-old bookshop owner, puts it, "What worries me is the future of our children, grandchildren, and their successors, that they might end up living openly in a colony of the U.S." As we examine this story, it's essential to acknowledge the complexity of the issues at play. The interplay between economic policies, international influence, and domestic politics has created a nuanced landscape. While some Argentinians may see the U.S. bailout as a necessary measure to ensure stability, others view it as a threat to their country's sovereignty. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be keeping a close eye on how these developments unfold. The implications of Argentina's election outcome will likely have far-reaching consequences, both domestically and internationally. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, we're taking a closer look at the devastating situation unfolding in Sudan. The country has been plagued by civil war since April 2023, when a power struggle within the military regime broke out into open conflict in the capital, Khartoum. The fighting has spread across the country, with the Sudanese armed forces controlling most of the north and east, while the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, hold territory in the west and southwest. The RSF, which grew out of the Janjaweed Arab militias accused of committing genocide in Darfur in 2003, has been responsible for numerous atrocities, including the killing of thousands of civilians. In their recent takeover of El Fasher, the capital of North Darfur, witnesses report that RSF fighters went house to house, beating and shooting at people, including women and children. Many have died in the streets, while others have been forced to flee to displacement camps. The international community has condemned the violence, with the U.S. government formally declaring that the RSF has committed genocide. The United Nations and other organizations are working to provide aid to those affected by the conflict, but the situation remains dire. It's essential to acknowledge the complexity of this conflict and the long history of tensions between different groups in Sudan. While it's crucial to hold those responsible for atrocities accountable, it's also important to recognize that there are no easy solutions to this crisis. As we conclude today's show, we want to emphasize the importance of staying informed about global events like the Sudanese Civil War. It's only by understanding the nuances and complexities of these conflicts that we can work towards creating a more just and peaceful world. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.